on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for you. I want to start by thanking my sponsor, Steel Supplements. Link and discount in the description. Have a brand new energy drink, Omni. Been out for a few months. Absolutely incredible. They've got an energy shot just as good. If you love those type of products, you're going to love what they have to offer. And the Glance LED, the ultimate Christmas gift for anyone in your life. Doesn't have to be a sports fan. Let me say the number one thing about this is there's no subscription fee. So you're going to give somebody a gift, and you're not going to have to worry about them paying every quarter, month, year, week, whatever the case. They're going to be able to use it. And they're going to be able to customize it to whatever they want. News, weather, stocks. Of course, for a lot of us, it's sports. And it's as simple as changing the way you play video games, watch movies, TV shows, whatever. Because you're going to be able to look over bright little LED unit that's going to keep you up to date with everything else going on in the world. And it is going to change the way you watch and do what you do. You can do it better with a Glance. Pick one up as a gift. Pick one up for yourself. Somebody sent me a Madden clip, and I was going to do a video, but I want to do something a little different. First of all, let me just say you, the person listening to this, is the reason that I'm able to do this video because, 2019, 2020 was some crazy times. But for a lot of content creators, myself included, the benefit was incredible. Between this channel, between having a podcast at the time, I was able to see consistent months of, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000. Money I never dreamed of. When I was a kid, I think probably was a full year of pay. Thankfully, I was able to invest most of that. And because, some investments did go south, but most investments went north, I was in pretty good shape. A lot of my crypto purchases have really panned out. I mean, just to give you a figure here, my average Bitcoin price is $22,000 per coin. So just use that as a barometer. But I want to talk about one thing I heard today that really resonated with me. And it's that success is on the other side of fear. And I want you to understand that, here I was for the longest time. I'm making decent money at my job, but I'm making a lot more money on my own. And I'm sitting there in a job that's not a bad job. And I want to stress that. I didn't have a terrible boss. I had an incredible boss. I had a boss that was actually so good, I probably stayed at the job longer than I should have. But what I did is I let that job impact me. I let that job change how I ran my own businesses and how successful I could be. I let that job hinder me and handcuff me for no reason. I went into a job every day where I wasn't appreciated by upper management, where I was micromanaged, where I was constantly watched as if I was not trustworthy. I was given all of these benefits, medical, days off. But then when it came time to use them, I was simply told I couldn't do that. For the 15 years I was there, we were perennially understaffed to the point that you had to apply for days off months in advance and then would be told weeks prior that that day could not be approved. Nothing went by seniority. So if you thought working there for 15 years meant I would have holidays off, you're sadly mistaken. It just meant I would be more expected to work on holidays because I knew what I was doing at the job. And I should take some type of comfort in working those holidays knowing that they would likely not be a high volume day. I worked in multiple departments for that company. I did a lot of different things, wore a lot of different hats, as people like to say. And in the end, none of it mattered. No one looked at me leaving as if it mattered. Maybe some of the personal friends I'd built there cared, but no one else did. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you, the day that I left, I requested an exit interview, which was never granted. And I asked if the president of the company could just speak to me for 15 minutes. I'd given them 15 years. If we could convert 1 year of my life to a minute of his time, I felt like that wasn't too much to ask. It never got responded to. So meanwhile, I sat here trying to balance everything out. YouTube channels, podcast, personal ventures. Well, every day, literally 6 days a week for the last 4 years, clocking into a job. That all it did was mentally wear me down. All it did was make me feel like I was worthless. I was spoke down to just about every single day. Meanwhile, I fully well knew that I didn't need that job, that I was more than confident and capable on my own. But I was continuing to do it for this fallacy in my mind that I needed a job, that I needed to clock in every single day, that I needed to put in an honest day's work to get what ultimately was a unhonest pay, but I digress. I want to talk to you that if you're at that same crossroads, and let me stress to you, I'm not telling you by any stretch, go ahead and quit your job. I'm telling you, if you get to a point in your life where you can confidently bet on yourself, you have to do it. You have to. Don't ever look back at your job and question, did this prevent me from making more of myself? Because you're going to regret it every single time. And I speak 100% from experience, because I can confidently tell you, I look back at the last 2 years and I say, you know what? I probably hindered myself, my business, by staying there. And that's never something you want to look at, because you're not going to view it fondly. Now, I can confidently say now that I've made the right decision and I've been rewarded. I've been given more time with my family. I've been given more income, less stress, the ability to enjoy my life every single day. One of the fears that I had is, if I didn't have any responsibilities other than myself, how would my life become? Things would spiral out of control. Would I stay up till 3 in the morning and sleep till 1 in the afternoon? Would I watch horror movies all day? I can tell you that my life is more structured without a job than you could imagine. I go to sleep around the same time. I wake up around the same time. I don't set an alarm because I don't technically need to be up, but my body knows what it needs to do. My health has incredibly changed beyond words. My happiness has increased tenfold. I never have to stress about wanting to go to a family function, wanting to go to a sporting event, and think to myself in the back of my head, what happens if I don't get off? What if I put in and they don't accept it? It's not a month and a half away. It's next week. You can't put a price tag on that. You can't. And I will say that there was many people along the way that told me that I should have done this long ago. And unfortunately, when you think about Uche, he's not here anymore. But I did a disservice to some of those people by telling them no, by telling them I knew best. I was going to stay there. And again, I just want to encourage you. If you're in a position where you're looking at the pendulum and half of what you're making is you and the other half is from your job, and you're thinking to yourself, I think I could probably make a go of this on my own. Don't make the same mistake I did. Go for it. Don't doubt yourself. Bet on yourself. Bank on yourself. Trust in yourself. Believe in yourself. All of those things that people are telling you around you, all of those voices in your ear, you need to trust them more than you trust yourself. Because in some way, you're going to be blinded by your inability to not think that it's going to fail. And just one final thing here. One of my biggest fears, believe it or not, one of my biggest fears was insurance. And I thought to myself, my goodness, what am I going to do? How am I going to be? How could I afford this? I'll tell you a very ironic story. Is we had an insurance provider at our job. And obviously, those were dissolved when I left. I would say within 3 weeks of me leaving, I had one of those providers calling. And I honestly didn't even believe it was them. I thought it was a scam call. But regardless, they said, listen, you used to have a program with us through your employer. Looks like you're no longer employed there. We're going to offer you the same program at the same exact price. And I thought to myself, well, right there is vindication. One of my biggest fears was not being able to afford this. And somehow a company with thousands, tens of thousands of employees could not barter a better deal with an insurance company than they were willing to provide me individually. And again, just kind of further set in stone that I was making the right decision. As far as life insurance, well, I've got independent wealth that I can use if something were to happen to liquidate assets. So that was already taken care of. But health insurance, believe it or not, independently, I was able to find better coverage at a lesser rate that allowed me to return to doctors that I'd used for years and not have to worry about any in-network, out-of-network mumbo-jumbo. But, I also have the time now to go to those doctors if I needed to. So hopefully some of you can listen to this and take heed. Hopefully, if some of you are getting close to that point, you can use this to motivate you to go forward. As I said, if you take anything away from this, anything at all, just understand, as I said, it's very important you understand that success truly is on the other side of fear. Appreciate you guys watching it. Love to know your thoughts on it. Be back in the week with more commentary.